It is officially time for a new career mode. Welcome back, everybody, to the Straight Outta Cloyne YouTube channel. Boy, it has been a while, and I do apologize. However, we have a very, very exciting series that we are about to get started here, and that is, of course, the Oxford United Road to Glory. When I tell you I have been counting down the days to do this career mode, that is the understatement of the century. First things first, before I forget, hope you all had a great Christmas and a very happy new year. And yes, there are a couple of things I would like to address about the channel, the Manchester United career mode, and so on and so forth. So let me just get all those things out of the way. So with the United career mode, I just wasn't enjoying the pre-recorded episodes. I know this is also a pre-recorded episode. This is a rarity when it comes to the Oxford Road to Glory. I don't want this career mode to be pre-recorded. I miss doing the episodes live. Obviously, as you know, I was having some internet issues when it came to live streaming. I'm hoping that these will all be sorted by the time we get this series started. Essentially, I was in the middle of switching providers when somebody suggested to me just to buy an Ethernet cable. I have purchased one. It has not arrived at the time of recording, but hopefully it will be here soon, and if not, well, then I'll just buy another one because I am anxious to get this career mode going. And that United career mode, there was just something about it that didn't feel right. Something about it didn't feel the same, to be quite honest, and I wasn't enjoying it as much as I thought I would. The original plan was to do that career mode, then do a career mode in between the United one and the Oxford one. But to be honest with you, the fact that so much time has passed and the fact that this is the career mode I'm most excited for, the fact that it's a road to glory, I thought we may as well just get straight into the Oxford career mode. So apologies if you are looking forward to seeing how the United one would end up. We will do a Manchester United career mode in the next game. We will start with United and I guarantee you we will finish that one. But that's why I've decided to go straight into this Oxford one. Oxford United. How can I mention Oxford United and not mention the legend himself, JJ, who is, of course, our manager here at Oxford, donning an Undertaker-style outfit, because why the hell not? JJ, of course, legend of the channel, my assistant coach. He has been promoted to head coach in this career mode, managing his boyhood club, his local team, Oxford United. Could not have picked a better man to be in charge of this team. And speaking of the team, let's have a look at the squad. I am very, very happy with this team. To be honest with you, there's not an awful lot of changes that I needed to make. I was actually pleasantly surprised with this Oxford United squad. We're donning a 4-3-3 formation. These are the players that we have. You'll probably notice a couple of signings that we have made if you are familiar with this Oxford United team. And we've also let go of a few players. But this is the team we currently have. So there's a quick look at it. But if we go into the squad hub, and we see that we do have quite a few players on loan. So Beadle, who's on loan from Brighton, he will be our starting goalkeeper this season. We also have Edwards on loan from Ipswich, Mills on loan from Everton, and Perkins on loan from Leeds. We also have a right back as well on loan. If I just get him up here, Stevens, he's on loan from Brentford. So that was kind of the only concern I had looking at the team, was that a few of these players will not be here at the beginning of next season. Now, with that said, if players like Beadle or Edwards impress, then of course I will be open to buying them permanently, but those decisions will be made in the summer. I think they'll both feature regularly this season, so there won't be any fear of them getting called back at the halfway point of the season. Beadle, as I say, will be the starting goalkeeper, 64 rated, 19 years old. I think that's a very good rating and age for League One. And then for Edwards, if we go back to him, 66 rated, 25 years old, in his prime, again, decently rated for this league. Mills, 62 rated. I have a feeling he might get called back just because we have Goodrim, and of course Josh Murphy, who is the twin brother of Jacob Murphy. I was very confused when I first saw this because I did not know that Jacob Murphy had a twin. And did not know he played for Oxford, but it is kind of cool. So he is going to be our backup winger, even though he actually has jumped up to a 65 rating when we swapped him to a right winger from a right midfielder. But Goodrim, Irishman, Obviously, I'm from Ireland as well. I want to have a heavy Irish presence in this team too. I think he's the one I'm going to go with as my starting winger. Mills will probably play here and there, but I have a feeling that him and Perkins will probably be called back by their parent clubs. We have also sold a few players. So if I just go over here to the transfer hub, we have decided to sell, well, we've actually signed 2 players as well. Blum is who we've signed at right back. We've signed him from Young Boys. I felt like we needed a younger, permanent starting right back, and he was the one that we went with. I did have Mendy shortlisted here, but he was unwilling to relocate, so we can actually remove him from the shortlist. And then we also signed Garbett, who is a free agent New Zealand player who we have brought into the team, 67 rated, 21 years old. I think he's a decent signing as well. If I could just find here as well the players who I have sold. If you just bear with me a second, we'll go to transfer history. And if we go to my club, we did decide to sell a few players. Bowden, who is a 31-year-old attacking midfielder, even though in the default starting 11 he's actually playing on the left. We sold him to Coventry for 660,000. Oisin Smith, he has gone to Doncaster for 350,000. Eastwood has gone to Port Vale for just under 300k. And I believe those are all the players we sold. Yes, it is. And as you can see, we've brought in Garbett on a free, and we've also brought in Blum for 1.5 million. And also, I was very impressed with a certain player in the midfield. And it's crazy because he actually has the same name as somebody who is in a different profession, who has been very successful throughout his career. I believe his name... Oh, God, I may have forgotten how to pronounce it or even how to spell it. But it is, of course, this man here, Jeff Jarrett, an American midfielder. Jeffjarrett. No, I remembered how to spell it. For a second there, I thought I was going mental, and I thought that I forgot how to spell a very simple name. But don't know why I had to spell it that specific way, instead of saying FF, double F, and double R, and double T. There's no particular reason why I would have said that, but he looks very promising. A 19-year-old centre midfielder from the United States of America, 71 rated. I think this guy is a future captain. At the moment, Elliot Moore is our captain, 68 rated centre-back. But Jeff Jarrett, I think he could be one for the future. In terms of our youth academy, there is a couple of players there. We have Hassan here, who I can turn into an attacking midfielder. He gets a nice little upgrade there, so we'll actually put him on a development plan too. And we have Shababalala, who, funnily enough, shares the name of a few youth players from the last career mode we did on here properly, which was the Cloyne United Create a Club career mode. But he looks pretty decent. Switched him from a cam to a right winger. It's gone up to 50 rated, 61 to 83 overall. We'll see how he develops. But we have sent one scout out to England. If I just pick the right thing here, if we go to the Youth Academy, we have sent one scout out to England. Where the hell am I going? I'm completely after forgetting where the hell I'm supposed to go. Here we go. Blake Andrews, we've sent him to England to find any type of player, and also what I'm going to do is hire one more scout. We do have a tight enough budget, so this is actually going to take up the majority of the budget. No, I'm actually going to hold off. I was going to send another scout out to Ireland, but I'm actually going to wait, because sometimes these scouts refresh, unless I go with Arthur Holmes. Now, he's only got 3-star experience and 2-star judgment, but you know what? I'm going to risk it for a biscuit, and we're actually going to send him, easy for me to say, to the Republic of Ireland, which of course is the country where I am from. I think, again, we'll look for any type of player, and then if we go here, it should have updated. Yes, it has, because there was also something else I wanted to do, and I'm going to send a scout to India. Now, you might be wondering, why India? Not Japan. India. Why was that so hard for me to do? Well, that's because I did a bit of research on Oxford United. And I found out, and I'm already after forgetting the name of the team, that Oxford has a bit of an association with a team in India. And if you bear with me there a second, I will get up the name of that team. I told myself I would have this ready for the start of this career mode, but if you go into Oxford United's Wikipedia page and you look at affiliated clubs, Royal Kashmir FC are an affiliated club of Oxford United. Don't really actually know why. Didn't look into it as much as I probably should have. But I thought, you know what? India is a country that I have never really scouted in too much. There's obviously an affiliation there with Oxford. Why the hell not? Let's have a look there, see what we get. So Susek is going to be looking in India, Holmes is going to be looking in Ireland, and Andrews looking in England. In terms of the board objectives, if we just get rid of these emails here, the board objectives are as follows. So if we go here to objectives, so youth development, within 2 seasons, have at least one player from the youth academy signed in the first season, play at least 50% of the games in the next season. I'm pretty confident, since this is a road to glory, that we can achieve this. Obviously, England seems like it's going to have the best results because it has the highest rated scout, but we'll see what happens with the other countries. Brand exposure, get a streak of 5 clean sheets in home matches this season. That might sound easy, but let me tell you something, it has not been very easy to get clean sheets in this game. So thank God that's a low priority. Obviously no continental success yet because we're not in any European competitions. Financial goals, make a £12.7 million profit from youth player sales within 2 seasons. Again, thankfully that's a low priority because I don't think we'll be able to achieve that. And even if we are selling youth players, I'd rather not, because I want them to develop and become first team players, but obviously we will have to sell a few. But I don't know if we'll be able to make that much money from those sales, but we'll see what happens. And the domestic success, they want us to win the League One title and gain automatic promotion and reach the last 16 of the FA Cup, which I feel like if things can click for us, that's definitely achievable. Now, in terms of what I want and my objectives and my success that I am hoping to achieve. Listen, Oxford United are a club that I have a big soft spot for thanks to JJ. He's the reason we're doing this career mode. Fun fact, I used to work for a company called Oxford. That's kind of interesting. And that was actually during the pandemic. And I was tempted to actually do an Oxford career mode back then because of the company I worked for. But I think the fact that I worked for a company called Oxford meant that, you know, if there was ever going to be a bad day at work, I'd probably take it out on the team. But I don't work for that company anymore, so I can get rid of that mental kind of block. But in terms of what I want to achieve, Season 1, I agree with the board. I want to get promoted to the Championship. Nearly said the Premier League. I would love to win a domestic title with Oxford. A domestic cup with Oxford in the lead up to winning Premier League titles, Champions League titles, Europa League titles, and so on and so forth. Of course, we want to win all the big trophies, but Oxford did win a League Cup back in the 80s, I believe it was. Again, I said I would have this prepared before I started recording this, but I got kind of excited. If you just bear with me there a second. Yes, they did win the League Cup in the 1985-1986 season, defeating QPR in the final. So it would be nice to win a League Cup and also an FA Cup as well, to kind of, you know, pay homage to that 86 team who did that. In terms of league titles, they've won the second division once, which was in 1985, third division champions in 1968 and 1984, runners up in 1996, League 2/4th division, runners up in 2016, promoted in 1965, won the conference in 2010, the Southern League champions 3 times in 53, 61 and 62, runners up in 54 and 1960, and the EFL Trophy, runners-up in 2016 and 2017, and Southern League Cup winners in 53 and 54. So the EFL Trophy, you know what, that's another goal that I have now, is to win the EFL Trophy. Runners-up twice. This is actually the only season we'd be eligible to win it if we do get promoted, and I do believe that we have a game coming up in that quite soon in the career mode. We did do a pre-season tournament, but it didn't exactly go our way. I believe that's the Carabao Cup. But the EFL Trophy, we play Forest Green Rovers. I think that's like a group stage kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah, we got Forest Green and Bristol. Yeah, they're the only 2 teams in our group. So who knows, maybe we'll actually have quite a go for the EFL Trophy and try and right the wrongs of 2016 and 2017. But those are kind of the short-term and long-term objectives that we have. Of course, we want Oxford to be the Premier League champions and Champions League winners as well, but I want to win every competition that we take part in, and short-term goals is to gain promotion by winning League One, and let's also win the EFL Trophy. FA Cup, obviously they want us to finish, or get to the last 16 I should say. I think that's achievable depending on the draws, but I think that the 2 goals I just mentioned there with EFL Trophy and League One, those are the main objectives right now. The League Cup, probably not going to put as much into it this season just because it's not the priority. So that's something we'll probably that's probably where we'll rotate the team and rest some of the players. But this is the starting 11. Beadle in goal, Blum, Moore, Thornley and Brown the back 4. McGuane, I think so you say it, or McGuinn, and Jarrett in the midfield. Goodrum on the right, Brown on the left, Garbett and Harris. Garbett number 10 and Harris up front. This is the bench, pretty solid, as you can see. And even in the reserves, we've got some decent options as well. So I'm very, very excited to use this team, and I hope that you're all excited for this career mode. In terms of when the first episode is going to be, I'm hoping before the end of January, if not the first weekend in February. So mark your calendars, it'll be either one of those dates. Excuse me as I burp. Nearly went the whole episode without doing that. But anyways, we move. That is the timeline for this career mode. I'm super excited about this. I think that the 2 career modes that were a success on here were, of course, Turl United and Cloyne United, and I'm looking forward to having Oxford United join that esteemed list as well. If you have any suggestions for transfers, any suggestions for things you'd like to see in the career mode, please feel free to let me know. I'll leave a link to my social media accounts in the description. And yeah, hope you're all looking forward to the series as much as I am, and I will see you on the first episode of the Oxford United career mode very, very soon. Take care.